Hey guys, welcome to my channel, and today I will be reading When You Flinch During an Argument by Kayana and Saren's depressed uncoative. So let's get into it. Midoriya. You and Midoriya were arguing about him breaking all his bones again. He told you not to worry about him, but you couldn't help but worry about him. He was your boyfriend after all. Ryan, you don't have to worry every time I break a bone, he said, growing irritated. I have to worry about you. You're my boyfriend, you said, raising your voice. Deku raised his hand to comb through his hair to calm down, and on instinct, he flinched, thinking he was going to hit you. He stopped after seeing you flinch. Ryan, why did you flinch? He said, hesitant. Worried and taken aback, you slowly put your hands down from your face. I thought you were going to hit me, he said, tears beginning to fall from your face. Love, I would never hit you under any circumstances, Izuku said, reaching out to cup your face. You leaned into his touch, realizing he would never hit you. I love you so much, Ryan. You know that? He said, looking at you lovingly and holding you close. I love you too, Izu. Katsuki, once again, he was yelling at Izuku, and this time he did not put up with it. He told him to stop yelling at poor Deku, and Katsuki said, maybe you should date the nerd instead. This led to an argument. You and him were yelling at each other. He raised his hand to comb through his hair in frustration, until he saw you flinch. He slowly put his hand down in shock. Did you really think he was going to hit you? The thought ran in his head, and he looked down at your shaking form in front of him. Babe, he said, eyes softening. You looked at him, and he looked concerned and sad. You never saw him so concerned about someone before. You brought your hands down from your face. Katsuki stepped forward, bringing you into a warm hug. He hugged you tightly, comforting, and you hugged him back, leaning your head into his chest. Babe, I would never hurt you like that. He pulled away from the hug, a little bit, to look at you. He kissed your head, still holding you in his arms. I love you, Ryan. Don't forget that, he said, looking into your eyes. I love you too. Todoroki. He had just finished the call from his father, and he was really steaming from his anger. And you were terrified. Seriously, what has gotten into him? He was usually so calm and collected, and seeing him like this, it scared you. And so when you went to calm him down, he began yelling at you too. And as soon as he took a step towards you, you flinched, taking a step back, and shut your eyes tightly, anticipating a hit. He paused, freezing, and it felt like time stopped for him, as it had for you too. He stepped closer, all the anger suddenly vanishing from his face. Ryan, are you scared of me? He sounded horrified. You shook your head, welling up. I thought, never mind. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have thought that. He shook his head, pulling you close to him and kissing your cheek. You know I would never hurt you, don't you? Even if I was upset, I would never do this to you. You nodded into his neck, clinging to him and listening to his comforting words. He kept holding you, calming you down, and whispering words of comfort into your ear until you felt okay again. Kirishima lifted his arm behind his head in frustration. You covered your face with your arms back and away. He froze when he watched you as you stood there in fright, fearing for your life. and what was going to happen. "Sweetheart," he said, putting his arms down and backing away to get some space. "After you calmed down, he held you tightly. I would never hurt you, no matter what's going on. I could never lay a hand on you. I never want you to fear me," he said, still holding you tightly. He smiled at you with soft eyes. "I love you, sweetie. Don't forget that," he said, staring into your eyes. You smiled a small smile, feeling a bit safer. "I love you too." Kaminari. You and Denki were having an argument. Denki was flirting with Jiro, and you got a little mad at him. During the argument, he sees you being scared, so he steps towards you for a hug, but you step back, hyperventilating and covering your body. His jaw drops as tears from his eyes fall down almost immediately. He slowly holds his arms out while walking towards you. He then grabs and holds your hand so softly as he rubs the back of your hand, his other hand reaching slowly to the side of your face as his thumb wraps your cheek. "I'm truly sorry you had to go through that. I would never even think of hurting you. I love you so much," he said, still rubbing your cheek. You started crying, and you got even more worried. "What is that? Are you still scared? I don't want you to cry," he said, holding you closer. You shook your head. "No, it's not that. I'm just glad you're my boyfriend," he said with a small smile. His face showed relief. He smiled, cupping both your cheeks. "I love you, beautiful," he said, kissing your forehead. You looked up at him with a smile. "I love you too." Sero, the two of you were arguing about something so trivial that you had soon forgotten about as soon as he saw you flinch. He was just talking, albeit his voice was too loud, and his movements were angry and haste. But he never expected this. He never expected you to flinch and cry, taking a few steps back to distance yourself from him, as if you were scared of him. He paused, reaching out for you, his arms up in a peace sign. "Mayan, is everything okay? You know I would never hurt you, don't you?" he said. You kept crying for a bit, but eventually, you calmed down, nodding, and running into his arms, hugging him tightly, and nodding into his shirt. You clung to him as if your life depended on it, and he softened at that, rubbing your head and hugging you close to him, as he wiped at your eyes gently and shushed you, trying to calm you down. "It's okay now. I'm here. I would never hurt you or let anyone else come close to you, okay? You're going to be alright, love, for as long as I'm with you."